This is Larry Henares making your day with the first part of an article written by Maria Angela C. Mina entitled More Evil Than Intended. And we quote, U.S. Marine Joseph Pemberton has been bundled up by the United States militia and kept out of Bilibid, despite the 6 to 12 years of imprisonment handed down by our courts. Bayan is busy raising hell about it, and the legal counsels for Jennifer Laude's family are considering whether they should file a case against the guards of Pemberton if they continue to resist his transfer. I can understand their reactions. In their eyes, there is yet another case of an American soldier literally getting away with murder simply because he is an American soldier. Had Pemberton killed an American transgender sex worker on American soil, it is not nearly as likely that his commanding officers would exert themselves to shield him from a sentence handed down by a court of law. In fact, if Pemberton had killed an American transvestite, all the American gay rights groups would be howling for his blood, and he would probably never be able to leave his house without either a bag over his head or a major reconstructive facial surgery. So on that level, I understand and even share Bayan's indignation. Pemberton is getting special treatment because he is American, and Jennifer Laude, whom he killed, was not. Americans make a lot of noise about being against racism, but incidents like this make one feel like quoting Shakespeare. Methinks the lady, or in this case this nation, doth protest too much. Despite my ire with the American government and their high-handedness, what I feel for Pemberton himself is mostly pity, some exasperation, and no real anger. I pity him almost as much as I pity Laude. I also suppose I am unusual in that I feel for Laude's family is mostly anger and no real pity. To most people, it would appear that I am taking the wrong side, that of the oppressor against the oppressed, but that would be to assume that Laude's family members are necessarily victims because they are poor and because they are the ones who have lost their child or brother. More about this after these messages. This is Larry Henares making your day with the first part of an article written by Maria Angela C. Mina entitled More Evil Than Intended. Before I go further, perhaps I should clarify. No matter what Laude considered himself, woman or transgender, I will be referring to him using masculine pronouns. After all, should we say that Pemberton killed Laude because it turned out that she had a penis? I know that many people would insist that Laude would have had the right to be referred to as a woman, because that would be what he would have preferred. I do not doubt that in his heart. That was what he felt himself to be. But no matter what we feel or prefer, there are some things that cannot be changed. One of them being the fact that if Laude were actually a woman, he would still be alive. That brings us to the main reason why I pity Pemberton. Despite the blood in his hands, I hold him guiltless in the situation. After all, he was trying to solicit sex for money, an act which is quite simply illegal. All other moral considerations aside, he should not have been doing it in the first place, no matter that it's been done by probably 99% of all American soldiers who have set foot on our shores since the turn of the previous century. That does not make it right. One of the things that has always disturbed me about prostitution is a great imbalance in power between the prostitute and his or her customer. A prostitute sells not only her or his body, but also the right to say no. It is a dangerous business, especially since the majority of people who approach sex workers already think of them as a commodity, and the likelihood that a prostitute will receive any respect from them is almost nil. Combine that with the fact that the world is full of crazies, and you'll come to the conclusion that being a prostitute is not at all a safe job. I cannot imagine that many prostitutes would continue their line of work if they had better options. Laude himself had a German boyfriend who was going to take him out of that life. I doubt that any of this occurred to Pemberton at a conscious level. But no matter what gender Laude was, that was one undeniable wrong Pemberton did to him, made worse by the fact that Laude would have accepted it because he was paid, and Laude needed the money to support his family. More tomorrow, my dear friends. This is Larry Henares, making your day, saying good day, God bless you. Thank you very much for being with us. Till next time, hasta la bye-bye.